see now. Perennial speed bump people are here again to protest Hancock and
Okay, let's see.
Okay, you're on.
This meeting come to order. Call the roll.
Commissioner Vanella?
Here.
Commissioner Hightower?
Here.
Commissioner Webb?
Here.
Commissioner Goss?
here.
Mayor Butler?
Here. Any addition or correction to the minutes? If not, they will be approved. And now, at this time, we have to extend a warm welcome to our sister city delegation from Kanie Town, Japan. And extend our warm welcome to you. Now, what happens next, Gail?
We have one of the representatives from Kanie is going to introduce the guests. Yes, come over here so they can. Tammy, your last name? Sato. Sato. Tammy Sato.
皆さん、神谷のおじさん。 I'm here from Kanye as support for the program. And I'll start with 日本語でまずは名前と
Speak into the microphone.
Their job.
Speak into the microphone.
She's giving directions. So there's one for each person, and then Mayor, you've got one to send back to Mayor Yoki.
日本語でいいですよ。
皆さんこんにちは。
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
私はね、蟹江町から来ました石垣武雄石垣、マイネーム。蟹江町横井町長が本当はね、来る予定でありましたですが、選挙のために私が代わりに来ました、教育長の石垣です。
Okay. His name is Takeo Ishigaki, and he is the superintendent of public schools in the city of Kanie. And he is here as a representative of our mayor who had an election on Sunday. So he is coming in his place because obviously the mayor needed to stay behind in Kanie this year. So he extends his warm wishes from the mayor in his place.
はい。7年前に蟹江町とマリオンが調停を結びました。姉妹都市提携。そういうこともありまして、子どもたち、中学生、今回も派遣をさせていただきました。今日はマリオン中学へ行きまして、たくさん歓迎を受けまして、子どもたちも大変喜んでおりました。
We were able to meet the junior high school students who are here with their host families, and they partnered with buddies today at the junior high school. We were able to see them, and we could see how happy they were to be here and to be having this experience. So we all get a little bit emotional about it, and it's a really nice experience for everyone.
子どもたちもそうでありますが、蟹江町も大変嬉しく思っております。これからもね、蟹江町とマリオンが、素晴らしい交流がずっと続くように願っております。ありがとうございます。
It's our wish that we can continue this program and continue to have this exchange between our cities. And we feel really strongly that this program is good for both of our cities. So thank you so much, and we appreciate everything you've done to welcome us and host us here.
どうもありがとうございました。続いてね、せっかくですので同行者がそれぞれ自己紹介やります。
Okay. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
My name is Toshifumi Hojo. Please call me Toshi. I work in my town hall. I'm a director of policy promotion section. I've been to Marion City fourth time, and this trip is my fifth time. So I feel this city is my second hometown. I feel so. Thank you very much. It's really. And every time, thanks for all members of hospitality, we could make a good experience. I hope I want to make a relationship and good exchange to the future. I think and I believe our relationship is forever. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, I got to tell you something about him. He's an Eagle Scout. He tried to pull a foxy on me a while ago. He was going to give me the Boy Scout handshake. Well, if you don't know it, you will never guess what you're doing. But he put it out there, and I surprised him. I could do it. So it has to be a good man. And he was asking me a while ago, he was seeking advice on what a public official needs to do. And I said, I don't know. I'm still learning. But he's very sincere, as are the rest of them. And we're lucky that we have this delegation with us. Didn't mean to interrupt the introductions, but I need to say that. Okay.
Thank you very much.
My name is Masato Fujishita. Please call me Masato. 日本語でいきたいと思います。私たちは中学生の海外派遣の担当をしております。初めてマリオに私は訪れましたが、素晴らしい街と今感じております。これからもよろしくお願いします。
It's his first time coming on the program, and he is having a really wonderful time. And he's in charge, he and everyone else in the Department of Policy and Promotion. He's the director, Hojo-san is the director, and everybody else is in the department, and they're responsible for the junior high school students. So he's having a really nice time on his first visit. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ran Suzuki. I work in same section, Toshi, Masato. 日本語でいいですか2回目に来まして、初めて来た時に、マリオン市の方々に親切にしていただいたことをずっと忘れません。今回も本当に親切にしていただいて本当に嬉しいです。この関係が私もこうずっと続いていくといいなというふうに思います。ぜひカニエに来てください。Thank you.
Thank you. It's her second time coming to Marion, and she had really good memories from the first visit, so she was really glad she was able to come again. And she says, next time it's your turn to come to Kanie, so please come when you have a chance to visit us in Kanie.
Good evening. My name is Yoshiharu Narita. Please call me Yoshi. ここから日本語でお願いいたします。僕も初めてマリオン市に来させていただきまして、皆さんの温かい歓迎していただきまして本当に感動しております。僕は隣にありますカニエでいう公民館というところがシビックセンターみたいなところなんですけれども、とても充実した施設で素晴らしいところだなというふうに思っております。これからもこの文化交流がしっかりやっていければいいなというふうに思っております。よろしくお願いします。
It's also his first time coming to Kanie, and he appreciates very much everything that you've done to welcome us on this visit. And today we were able to go to the Civic Center, and we got a tour, and we were able to go backstage and check out the building, and he thought it was a really nice place. And you have a wonderful town. Thank you.
Hi. My name is Mayumi Yamashiro, tour leader of this group.
and everyone we met here very welcomed to us very warmly. So that is very glad for me. Thank you so much, and thank you for having us. Thank you so much.
Okay, I'll do it in English. My name is Tammy Sato. Gail already said that, but I'm originally from Seattle, and I moved to Japan after I graduated from university and worked for 3 years for the Board of Education in a small town in Hokkaido, which is the northern island, and went back home, and at that time it was Oregon, and planned to be there for a while, but I met my husband, who is from Kanie in Oregon, and we moved back to Japan together 7 years ago. And I teach ESL in Kanie, and they asked me to help with them at the City Hall occasionally. And I'm not going to say anything personal because I'll just start crying, so.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you. Okay, what? Yeah.
And we have some gifts for you to take from our council.
Here, just grab one there. Yeah, hand him one. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
The mayor has one for Mayor Yo.
Yeah, right there.
For the mayor?
Yes.
Okay, I'll give it to Tricia.
Okay, come on.
Mayor Butler has one for Mayor.
Yeah, give this now to my friend, the mayor.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. I bring it to you.
All right, thank you. Yeah.
Have one here? And we have another one coming up. For you. That's for you. It's a special.
Okay,
Thank you.
Nice.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you much.
Thank you.
I'm going to try not to look anybody in the eyes.
Since you guys are co-chairing, or you and Jared. Mayor, if I might, this is the first year as we have been doing the Sister City program before we were even Sister Cities. So this is our 10th year of doing a program with Kanie Town. And this is the first year that it became a community event this year. And I would like for Tracy and Jared, who have co-chaired, it used to be a city project, and the chamber has jumped in and really made it a community event. So I'd like Jared and Tracy to kind of talk a little bit about their committee and where they're going.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you. I'm Tracy Glenn. This is Jared Garrison, co-chair of the Sister City. When the city first asked for the chamber to take on this project, I thought, oh, that'd be fun. I can tell you now that it's one of the biggest blessings in my life, and I'm going to get emotional, Tammy. We've worked, a committee of 13 of us have worked since October to plan a wonderful time for them here, to have them feel the warmth of our community. And I think we've had that so far. We still have a little time left, but I can tell you, just since I've met them, I've corresponded with a couple of them before their visit. Ran and I are on Facebook together, so we were talking on Facebook. But since Saturday night, I can tell you that I feel like I have extended family, and I don't want to say goodbye to them on Wednesday. I'm going to be emotional. So thank you so much for letting us take on this project, because like I said, it's been a blessing. Thank you.
I'm going to cry.
I'll probably cry too. It has been very much been a blessing. Thank you to Mayor Butler for appointing me to this committee. It is more than my honor to do this. Brothers and sisters is what I should be. They're amazing people. The regard that they have for human lives in general is second to none, I would say. And it's already in 2.5 days, it's been the biggest blessing of my life also. For anyone who can join us for anything on the rest of this trip, But what you'll get out of it, I can't even really put into words. It's just amazing. Yeah. So I just want to say thank you to you, all of you, and thank you to you all.
Thank you, Jared. Really appreciate that.
Jared, do you want to introduce your other Marion host and hostess?
Yes.
You want me to do it?
On TV, maybe.
Okay. Like I said, we have a committee of 13. Some of them are here tonight. We have Janet Jensen and Shannon Johnson. And besides that, we have, and I'm afraid I'm going to leave somebody off, Rick Rickert and Ashley Gott and
Cindy Gibbons.
Cindy Gibbons coordinated the host families. There's 12 students visiting that are staying with 5 host families, having the time of their life. They're bowling tonight, or they would be here with you, but I'm sure, no offense, I'm sure they're having more fun bowling. No offense. Mary Jo McCurdy, Matt Carnegie, Bo Dietrich with the National Guard. Am I forgetting? Who am I forgetting? Dana Dooley, and of course Dallas and Kristen with the chamber staff. Kenya Garner, who is our chairman of our board this year.
It's a biggie.
Yes, yes. So 13 people have worked hard since October. So
Good.
Yes,
Is there-
I told the chamber we needed to change the name from marketing committee to the committee of people that gets things done. So that's.
And just to Dallas Benavi is the chamber executive director, and her husband is from Israel, and their vacation was planned before we knew of the Sister City visit. So Dallas left yesterday, or very early morning, to go to Israel for vacation. So I just want to extend that as well. That's why she isn't here, and she very much regrets that those two overlapped.
I got a question. What am I wearing?
Yes.
What does it mean?
Tammy?
That's a quiz for everyone, right?
Yes.
There'll be a quiz later. He wants to know what it is. Yeah.
I'm wearing this and this for some reason.
Yeah, explain it into the microphone.
So this lovely get-up is called Chan Chan Ko, and it's purple to celebrate someone's 90th birthday. So we have this in red for his 60th birthday, and this is for a 90th birthday. So the mayor sent it for him, knowing that he had recently.
I'm glad to know I was wearing this.
That's right. They put his name on the.
I thank you, and I thank the mayor for me for providing this. I've been trying to forget the birthday, but I'm reminded once again.
That's right. You can take it off as soon as the meeting is over then.
Take it off very shortly.
We'll tell him.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah. Okay. Anything else?
I thank our guests for being here. We are going to continue with the regular meeting, but if the guests would like to stay, or if they would like to, is anything else that we need to do? Otherwise, we'll just continue, and you may feel free to leave. I know you have other events to do, but we do appreciate it.
We're going to stay.
We're going to stay. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, Billy.
We appreciate everything, the chamber and those who are associated with the program. We really thank you much. Okay, do we have anyone that has something that we need to take up?
I do.
Okay.
Anyone?
Anyone?
All right. I'll take one, pass it down.
Sure.
One for Alice, too. My name is Buford Stout. I live at 1307 Hemlock in Marion. I've been a resident of Marion. Grew up in Johnson City, but I've been a resident of Marion for 45 years. Used to be Glenn's neighbor, but then he decided to move and leave us all behind. Here several months ago, the city installed some speed bumps on Duncan Street and Beverbeck. And I'm here with a petition, which you have a copy of, and I'd like to read some of it, and then I'm going to, got just a brief presentation here. It said, we, the listed citizens of Hemlock Drive, Beverbeck Drive, and South Duncan Street neighborhood, plus friends and relatives of Marion who visit us often, petition the city to remove the speed bumps recently installed on Beverbeck and South Duncan Street. Our petition is based on the following. And I've had some conversations with Councilman Goss, and it was learned that the reason for the speed bumps was because of some children coming home from Longfellow School and walking through that neighborhood. And of course, there's no sidewalks and walking in the street, and it could be pose a safety hazard for the school children. And I agree that safety of children is extremely important, but it's good that only a few children walk that street, so that it's not a really crowded bunch of kids going down the street. There's no sidewalks on either side of the street, but I got some alternatives that I think that you could consider. I'm sure that they're not all of them because you guys know more about the streets in Marion than I do. But we think that the Marion Police Department could station some patrolmen in that area and just check the speed of the vehicles traveling through the area. And they'd only have to be there for about 30 minutes in the morning from 7:45 to about 8 or 8:15. And at the end of the school day, which is the day that most of the traffic comes through there, from about 3:15 to 3:45, they would have to really be on their guard and make sure that they issue tickets to those that violate the speed limits, because if no tickets are issued, then these guys are probably going to continue to break the speed limit. We were all kids once, and I think the only problem with us when we were kids, we always obeyed when our adults and our parents told us what to do. We usually did it. So anyway, right now, some of the people we talked to on Beverbeck, they stated that the vehicles now it's really slowing them down some, but they're trying to see who can go over the speed bumps the fastest. So there's still cars not obeying the limits, or the speed limit that's posted there. The other thing I thought was speed detecting cameras, but you're going to have to scratch that because I found out that the state of Illinois will not allow cities to install speed detecting cameras and issue fines for it. Only the state of Illinois can do that. So plus the fact that those things are pretty expensive, about $100,000 in installation. But prior to implementing either of the above alternatives, for several school days, I think one of the things that the city could do also is just a one-time deal, is at the park where they come through on the north end, you could station your people there and do a safety check on every automobile. And you could get some volunteers from the neighborhood to help you do that. You'd get the name of the kids that are driving the cars, you'd get their license number, their driver's license number, their address, and then you would warn them that if they got caught speeding, that they would lose their driver's license for 6 months. And then if they did speed and get caught, then they would need to do that. Make sure that they would lose those driver's license. The other thing that we thought of is that years ago, I don't know if the city or the park district, but we used to close the park, the city park, from about October clear through till May. Well, to eliminate the entire traffic from the school on Beverbeck, you could close the north entrance to Pyramid Park. Beginning at the beginning of the school year, and let it be closed until school was out. That would eliminate the problem entirely. And I think when they closed the park years ago, they used to close both entrances. But anyway, these speed bumps, and if you don't, like me today, I've gone over those, made 11 trips to town today. So I've gone over those speed bumps about 22 times today. And it's, I don't know that it's really a big encumbrance, but it is, you almost have to stop to go over them, which is good because it does slow the traffic down. And over time, this could probably damage the people's vehicles. Also, the speed bumps could have, there was one house for sale in our neighborhood. I wasn't able to contact those people, but we thought that perhaps these speed bumps could have a negative effect on the real estate values in our area. And to our knowledge, there's not been any traffic incidents on any of these streets, and no injuries or damage to adults, pets, or children that we're aware of. There's been a few incidents of minor property damage, but I don't think it was the kids from that was speeding from school. It was also brought to our attention by 2 residents on Beverbeck that the number of vehicles has subsided since the speed bumps were installed. And again, these residents reported that the vehicles are still speeding down the streets, and sometimes they're trying to go around the speed bumps. That it wasn't real evident that they was going completely into people's yard, but you could see where they had gone around them a little bit. So anyway, we're kind of the innocent ones that's being punished for the misdeeds of others. So also on Duncan Street, as long as I've lived there, I don't think we've ever had a speed limit sign. Now, they just put a speed limit sign on Beverbeck when they installed the speed bumps. I think it's 25 miles per hour. Now, also I understand that there may be the possibility that the Park District is going to put 3 speed bumps in the park. And if that happens, perhaps then we could remove the speed bumps on Beverbeck and Duncan. And I don't know, I would hope that maybe one of you guys would probably have a real good idea on how we could eliminate the speed bumps. These are just a few of the things that I've come up with, and the other question I have is, if you don't remove them now, will they still stay during the summer when school's not in session? There wouldn't be any need for them during the summertime, so they could at least be removed during the summertime. And I don't recall when the city council voted to install the speed bumps, but none of the people that we talked to was aware that the speed bumps were going to be installed. So anyway, that's about what I have. If you have any questions or comments, I'll sure be glad to
I was going to ask, in your canvass of the community, was there anyone for it that was really wanting them, or did you?
Well, no one really wanted them. We had 3 people that wouldn't sign of the people we contacted, we had 3 people that wouldn't sign the petition because, well, one guy said, well, he had kids and he really liked the idea of the cars slowing down, which is good. But he said, he lives on Duncan. He said when they come around that corner, he said they're still coming around that corner like crazy and spinning their tires and just flying up to the speed bumps. And then some of them are continuing to go over them at a high rate of speed. So, we had 2 people on Beverbeck that would not sign it because they thought it helped.
Good kid.
They said also that the number of cars has decreased that's going that route, but they both said that the cars are still going fast. With today's cars, it doesn't take long to get to a pretty good rate of speed in between the speed bumps. So, anyone else?
You mentioned something about the police presence between 7:45 and 8:15.
Yeah, 7:45, 7:30, probably that's 7:45 and 8:15. Yeah, that's about the time I think that they go. Not very many go through there during the morning.
Well, I tell you something that may make that infeasible is that they already have a program in place where between 7:30 and 8:15, where they're required to go around all the schools in the city to provide extra patrols, and that will stretch them thin, especially if they have other service calls in conjunction with that. So I don't know how feasible that would be, though.
Yeah, I understand. But that, we thought 30 minutes in the afternoon,
They also required to do it after school.
Is that right? Okay.
Why were these speed bumps put up at the
There were complaints.
Because of the complaints, like you said, there's some out there that have come out voluntarily and have thanked us for slowing it down because they have children in there. They go out and play now, and they appreciate the thing. We're concerned about safety. Regardless of what they say, it's a hazard. And if you look on the tire marks after the speed bumps, you've seen them, I'm sure. There's tire marks probably from here to that wall, going down in front of Ray's house. And there's some coming around the curve. There's 3 sets of skid marks that burn those tires from here to that wall.
Mm-hmm.
Now, something needs to slow them down. So we've attempted to do that.
Yeah.
And if it inconveniences you a little bit, we're sorry for that, but I still believe that the safety reason is enough for me to leave it there. But now you ask a question, will it come down in the summertime? Is our intent in the summertime to remove them when the school's not in session? But as long as the school's there, the park board has asked us to put some in, and now they're going to put in 3 or 4. We had 2 calls today in different areas of the town wanting speed bumps. I think Commissioner Hightower had one down on by Jones Park we put in that you requested.
Yeah.
So there are reasons to have them. We understand that it inconveniences you, and we apologize for that, but we also know they wiped out, as you said, there had been some property damage on that before too. And there's no point in taking a chance of some child getting hit because we have to slow down.
Yeah.
And I think we need to slow the traffic. If there's a better way to do it, we'll sure consider it.
Well, I still
I
think,
don't see so far, the things you've suggested have been tried, like the gate on the park board, they don't want to do it, they haven't done it.
well, they said that the city's responsible for the gate.
Well, no, no, they own the road.
No. I thought
We haven't taken it in yet.
We have not.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Not yet.
I think they still maintain the road as of today.
It's our ownership.
But they said they're not responsible for the gate, so, but I don't know. That's just what I was told.
Well, they're closed off.
You mentioned something about closing the park during the winter. City would have no control over that. That has to be done by the park district.
Yeah, okay. Well, they wouldn't have to close the park, just one entrance, just the north.
Whether it's one entrance or both entrances, that's up to the park district.
Well,
They
okay.
tried that years ago, and they weren't happy with it.
Well, because emergency responding vehicles couldn't get through, like,
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
I know my years with the county, my years as county highway superintendent, we got several requests for speed bumps.
Oh, yeah.
We was never allowed to put them in because of it's almost becomes a hazard to the traveling public, bicycles, motorcycles, what have you. And I don't know if that pertains to city or not, but that was a policy. I always thought it was an IDOT policy on any kind of motor fuel tax street. You really couldn't put a speed bump in, but I can't quote a line and verse on that, but it's just something to think about.
Well, the bicycles, there's room on the edges for the bicycles and
And
motorcycles.
the handicap, there's room there.
Plenty of room for that, but.
Yeah. As far as summertime goes, it was our intention to remove them or put down with bolts. They can be taken up very easily.
Oh, that's another problem. The bolts come loose and,
We hit it with a snowplow.
well, they just, a couple of times neighbors have had to call and
Yeah.
say that
Yeah.
the bolts were protruding out,
Yeah,
so.
well,
Yeah,
we'll
I
have
forgot
to
about
address
that.
that problem, yeah.
So,
I appreciate your comments.
but anyway, it's, and I know you go down that street periodically. I think your daughter lives on the corner and you live on the other side, so, but you go through 2 of them. Like to me, I've been over those things, I'll be over those things 22 times today. And and I think that safety of children is good. We need to watch out for our children.
And you
But-
won't be able to go through the Pyramid Park and miss those speed bumps because they're going to put up 4 there, so.
Yeah, so we're all gonna be trapped.
Yeah, you're trapped.
Do you
So-
think that will be a deterrence? If they put 4 up in Pyramid Park, that they may not even just want to come that way?
That's what I'm thinking.
And then maybe, if that does transpire, we can take ours down?
Sure.
Because you may remember this, Mayor, is it Clark Street that's on the far end of the park? Or Illinois?
that's an area.
Clark.
Or Thompson.
And I
Thompson.
thought some of those people asked for speed bumps there.
The park runs into Otis. Park
Yes.
runs east and west, Otis runs north and south.
And
Yeah.
Come down, hits Otis, and Otis turns and then goes, and you got your office there for the park, sitting right in
Yeah.
the corner.
Yeah, Clark is right on the north side of the park.
Yeah, we got a call today
Thompson
wanting an
has
additional
speed
speed
bumps,
bump, different streets. So
No.
there's people like them, some people don't. We don't want them either unless we feel like there's a hazard.
Yeah.
And come summertime and school's out, there's no problem with taking them up. And if then you say the park that they put up 4, it may solve our problem. All we want to do is nobody get run over.
No, I agree. And of course, it hasn't happened so far, but
But you don't want to wait till it happens.
you don't want to wait till it happens. I agree with you, but I still think there could be a better way for the neighborhood.
Well,
But- Hey, so you guys can think about that, to give you a good challenge.
Getting back to Clark Street, I thought we were told by IDOT we could not put speed bumps up.
No,
I don't know about that.
no, we've been, we looked
It
at
doesn't
it.
sound likely that IDOT.
No, we can do
Why
it.
would they not allow them, well, I can see why they wouldn't allow them in the county, because they've got some long stretches of
Yeah.
road there.
Well, I think though, we have a fundamental issue, are speed bumps legal?
I don't know.
I've heard that they're not, and I've heard that they are. Steve, could you check and see if there's a prohibition on speed bumps? If there is, then that solves the problem.
Yeah.
And I was really surprised
The problem.
when I Googled this the other day, and I just going to do a little bit more research on the traffic cameras, because I thought that would be the best way to go, but the expense is really high. But I found it in all places, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and it's talking about, it says here in Illinois, it says on speed bumps are statewide only in construction zones or Illinois State Toll Highway Authority roads. Local authorities are prohibited from using speed cameras. The state may use speed cameras, but only when a law enforcement officer is present and witnesses the event.
Do you have a citation for that, the statute, where that's coming from?
Well, I didn't have a citation from the statute. It came up on the Center for Disease.
Well, anyhow, I'll give Steve some.
Yeah, here
It's
you go.
relatively new case law.
Okay. All right, we got the picture.
All right.
We'll see what we can do.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Anybody else have something?
Have a gentleman right there.
But the park may be, if that's their private drive, they may be able to put them up.
I think you can on private, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, they could.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, though. That's
gonna
a unit
take
of
it.
government, that's a public way, and if the park district owns
You
it,
can
it may be included in the prohibition, yeah.
My name is Adam Fossey, and I come tonight before you guys to ask you, I bought a house recently out off of Fossey Road called Forest Court. It's out west of the high school, and it's the only city street that I know of that's gravel, and I'm wondering why. I mean, I'm on city sewer, I'm on city water, I'm in the city limits.
I'm not sure I know where you're talking about.
It's off.
It's off of Fossey.
Area,
It's off of Fossey, first road to the west off of Fossey.
First,
How long has that road been there?
it's not a road, it's public access.
Okay, it's not a road. What is it?
It's public access when John Shute and whoever bought him out, who's the,
Trevor Crabtree. There were several lots between me and the road.
he left
Well,
he left the
It's
public
never been
access.
dedicated as a city street.
No.
Okay.
Does it have a street
Isn't
name
it?
on it?
Yeah.
The city accepted the plat in 1974, 75.
And did they have this street on it?
No, it's not a street.
And the subdivider said he was dedicating the public way, the roads and streets for public use.
Well, was this set up as a street or a roadway?
No,
It was just a piece of paper.
it's a public access only.
dedicated to the subdivision. And
Because the lots are still for sale. They're still,
Public access, Glenn, the way I've looked at it, that's dedicated for public to get through there. Right, they dedicate a strip.
But the
It's a dead
ordinance
end.
required for the developer to put the streets in and the water
Right.
and the sewer.
And he didn't do
The
it.
developer put the water in, he put the sewer in, he just pushed a path through there for a road and left.
therefore me,
Was there dedicated right-of-way?
It wasn't an official dedication, but the plat is, it all has the verbiage on there that the roads, the public, are dedicated to the public for public use. Is what the plat
Yeah,
is.
well, that's not a dedication to the city.
That's what I say, public access,
I
all
don't
it
know if it
is.
is or it isn't, that's just what he said when he dedicated the plat.
So what recourse is this gentleman?
yeah, well, I mean, I just purchased the house, so why am I getting the repercussion of it? The repercussion should go to the subdivider.
Right.
Yes.
Well, that, I mean, I'm,
House, right?
huh?
You went and saw your house before you bought it, right?
I understand that. But every street around it is paved.
But you knew when you were going there that that didn't have a paved street.
I understood that, yes, but I had never questioned it because, would you question it?
Yes, I would.
Okay, when every street, I grew up out there.
But that's not a street. The problem is, it's not a street.
Well,
It's a public way.
Yeah, it's public way.
well, I'm not asking for curbs and gutters, but I want my kids, like every other kid in the city, to be able to ride their bikes on a surface. I'm not asking for asphalt, I'm on a permanent surface.
There's nothing to prevent you from putting blacktop on that if you want it. It's a public access, I assume, but the city doesn't.
But I don't own those other lots, I don't own it all.
Well, we don't.
How many
own it.
houses are there on this?
It affects me and Leon Kerr on the corner.
On the corner.
Mr. Kerr said he doesn't mind it. We've been out there several times.
Yeah, but I don't mind.
Mr. Kerr said he had no problem with it.
Yeah.
He just wanted the street put to his house, and he bought it out of the street, and he wants.
I didn't hear you.
I said if the other lots are for sale,
They're
and it's a subdivision, then what, and wouldn't those become city streets in the long run? Because most of our subdivisions do have streets.
Dale, usually on something like that, it has to be brought up to city standard before the city will take over.
Which the rest of the subdivision did. He developed the whole west side of Fosse.
Right.
But that never finished because the lots never sold.
So, I mean, and typically they would want to bring that up to maintenance standard before we would take it over.
Right, I understand.
So I don't know if that developer's still available to do that.
Oh, he is, but he's going to tell me that he doesn't have the money because I've already pursued that option.
Oh, you talked to the developer already?
Yeah, I know him personally. He built my father's house.
No.
My dad lives at the end of that road, which you were the superintendent at the time. The end of Fosse Road's a county road, and it's oiled and chipped. You know, it's maintained by the county. So, I mean, I'm kind of stuck here. I feel like I'm stuck because I can't tell the developer to go do it because he's going to say, I don't have the money.
That may be, but yes, you can bring an action against him to enforce it.
He is half owner with Trevor Crabtree, which if the city was to take it, you know, put a lien on their lots. I mean, I don't have the money. And I'm not asking for asphalt. I would settle for oil and chip, and I don't have to have gutters. It drains fine. There's not high traffic. It's just me and Leon Kerr on it.
You have an estimate on how much that will cost for like oil and chip?
I called the county to do 1 mile is $9,000.
Well, what's the distance on this?
408 feet. 410 feet from my driveway to the center of Fosse Road.
Just kind of like Gary McGee,
No, not even the same situation.
right, Glenn?
Well, what's that situation?
That's the situation. He had to produce it, straighten his road all the way.
It's not the same
situation.
situation.
Going back to the developer.
Yeah.
Yes, he's the developer. I'm not the
I know,
developer.
but,
What incentive does he have to go out and build a road?
yeah.
He doesn't own any of the lots anymore, does he?
Who's that?
The developer.
Yes. Yes, he owns them all with his nephew, Trevor Crabtree. They still own them. I pulled a county, which I forgot to bring it. I pulled a county view of it tonight. There are 6 lots between me and Leon, 3 on each side. I own the back pie that butts up to 57.
Has the city done any maintenance in there as far as put rock down that you're?
I called, they brought out a little, I mean, I just bought the house in November, and I'm not asking to, I mean, if it needed rock, I have perfectly access to haul my own rock, and that's not what I'm after. I'm after my kids being able to ride their bikes, you know.
But the city has done some maintenance on it, sounds like.
Yeah, we graded the gravel farm, had just out to be nice people and try to keep the water from running a certain way.
It needs to be ditched with a road graded, the lots fall, I mean, it doesn't have to be curb and gutters, it's just me back there.
We've already graded, just a matter of being.
Is there a cul-de-sac at the end?
Yeah, I'm at the
There's no
cul-de-sac.
place to put a street in, can't do it.
Well, okay, this is something we'll have to consider, and then I think we need to look into the legality of the situation.
Yeah, I mean, my point is, that house has been there since 2000, so it's collected city water and sewer. I'm one of the few houses out there that is on city sewer.
Have you had a discussion with the developer about putting a road?
Yes,
And what did they say?
he doesn't have the money.
He doesn't have the money, or he doesn't want to spend it?
Both. He doesn't have it. I mean, I'm not getting his finances, I don't know him. But I mean, he built my father's home, I've known him my whole life, and he got pushed on, he lives on Laren Lane until the neighbors basically boycotted him back when I was in high school in the 90s to pave that. You know, they basically pulled a petition together and made him pave it because it was still rock until then. So, I mean,
Well, it appears to me it's a rather complicated situation. We'll just have to check it out, see about the legalities, and I know that John's given it a lot of consideration. And that's what
But
we'll
he
have to...
sold those lots on Laren with the, I guess, the premises that the road would be paved.
yes. He had told me that his dad developed all the west side of Fosse Road, which is part of these lots that are between me and Fosse that are still for sale. But the city had taken that in as a subdivision.
Right.
So me and Leon on the corner are the two houses that are on the city sewer, which is coming out there. There's nothing else out there on city sewer. That's all coming this summer or fall. So
what leverage does the city have to kind of light a fire under the developer? I mean, is there anything we can do?
you tell me, you're the lawyer. What does the city, put a lien on his lots?
Well, Glenn was talking about that. You know, my suggestion would be to go talk to them.
Which I have.
Just a minute.
Okay.
They've got these lots that are for sale,
Mhm.
and get a written agreement that the next lot they sell, those funds would be used to pave those streets and bring it up to code.
Okay. Which those lots been for sale for 20 years.
And could we, as a city, use the leverage of not hooking him on to city sewer or water until they use those funds to do that?
See, they've collected.
I don't know that you're going to be able to, well, it kind of depends. If you have someone that's already bought that lot and they're going to build a house, you're denying it to not him, you're denying it to someone else. You know what I'm saying? But you cannot use your utilities to enforce other portions of your statutes or laws within the city, unfortunately. So you could refuse to issue a building permit and ensure that it meets compliance. You can do that.
What are we talking here? Well, and Chip, what are we talking? $5,000, $10,000 to do that?
Probably so. I'd say in that range, yeah.
We're going to spend $800,000 on South Market here.
That's a street.
That could be a street. There's 6 lots for sale.
Let's don't go there. We're talking about your situation. We don't need to get into anything else.
Okay. I'm just trying to make it as fair.
It's a matter of money becomes an issue only after you decide whether there's a legal responsibility to do something.
And for future references, not for the city, but just say I was going to...
I know.
No, not for me, but for another developer, to keep it from happening again.
Yeah. Well, we've got the situation now.
Yes.
So that's what we've got to consider. And so we'll have the legality of checked out by Steve, and then the rest of us will try to give some consideration, see what, if anything, looks feasible that will work.
Telephone number if you don't mind.
618-922.
Well, I can understand where he's coming from. He's got city water and sewer, he pays property taxes.
Yeah, I have little kids that want to ride, their bikes just like any other kid in the city that's got a paved street. And I don't expect it to be or asphalt right off the get-go. If it's in the budget to come, I just want...
It's very simple. If it's the city's responsibility to do it, it will be done.
Okay.
Now, what we have to determine is whether or not it is legally the city's responsibility. I think maybe the developer is the guy.
Now, how we ensured that happened at the county, we would hold a bond.
Okay.
And that bond wasn't released till those roads were finished and built. Now, whether, back then, whether there was a bond issued for that road construction or not, I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah.
But modern day projects now, they usually have to bond it to make
That's what I mean. Just if I wanted to go out and start a subdivision, what would make me go finish the road?
Right.
Adam, what was it, has that always been Forest Court?
Yes.
No.
No, I thought it was something else.
911 designated as Forest Court for
It used to be
emergency
named
calls.
after his daughter.
They named
Nothing
that-
was done to that.
They named it Forest, so the 911 could locate where to go in case he had an emergency. So it's not a street, it has a 911 designation.
Okay, I think we've beat this around enough. We'll check the legality, we'll give it some consideration and see what we can do.
Okay.
Okay, very good. Anybody else? Okay, if not, my friends from Japan, I am remiss. I owe you an apology. I didn't introduce the members of the city council to you.
Just as well.
Okay, now, Angelo Hightower, Public Property and Sewer Commissioner, Anthony Ranella. He is Water and Finance Commissioner. John Goss. He is the Street and Cemetery Commissioner. Mr. Webb down there is in charge of the Police and Fire Department. So you got to be on his good side. Okay. But if you get in trouble before you leave town, he's the guy to get hold of. Okay. If no one else has something to...
She's talking maybe to do something.
Oh, okay.
You have something to say?
Me?
Yes.
I was just translating for them.
Okay, very good.
Okay, very good. All right. We have our set order of business that we go through, and so that is where we're going now, to our agenda.
So, Mr. Mayor, Bill, at this time, is it a good time for us to?
Yes.
We don't interrupt you later?
Sure.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can they go now?
Yes.
Oh, sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Interrupt now.
Oh, it's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I know, anybody,
That's understandable.
How many people's in their town?
Forget
Wait a
it.
minute, no.
They're not here again, are they?
What is their population? Bob, what is the population, Kanie?
I was just curious how big
How
their town
their
is.
city?
John said about 4,300.
4,300?
Really?
Small.
So they're smaller than us.
Yeah, they're not, they're losing.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate
See you,
it.
Tracy.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Thank you, coming back.
thank you. Thank you. I will see you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
What is that? Three?
Thanks, Jerry.
What is the size of their town?
Sayonara.
Thank you. See you again. See you next year.
That's
Maybe
double
2
us.
years.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jared.
Thank you.
Good job, Jerry.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
He said it was 37,000, John.
37,000.
Yeah.
Thank you, Trustee.
Okay,
Yeah, hopefully so.
Number 2 hasn't showed up, have they?
I think item number 2 will pass.
Yeah, it's gone.
I don't know where they are.
Okay,
They
resolution 2017-09. I guess Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund requires this resolution.
Yes.
Elected officials must...
Mayor, this is Steve Hale. I told Steve I could address this as far as this is a recertification resolution. The cities have to now, because of the state, every 2 years, they've come up with a new ordinance about Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund, about determining who is eligible for Illinois Municipal Retirement from the council or mayor's position. So years ago, it was set for a number of hours of who pays into IMRF. And so the only one that worked, the number of hours that could be qualified would be the mayor. And so that's what Steve has set forth for the council to approve, is just a recertification of this going forward.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Vanilla?
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower?
Yay.
Commissioner Webb?
Yay.
Commissioner Goss?
Yay.
Mayor Butler?
Yay. Okay. What's this about, Jim? Grant for maintenance, training tire, 100% grant?
Yeah, what we're seeking here is council approval to apply and receive the 911 Regional Training Center grant for maintenance of the training tower. It's a 100% grant at $9,375. And basically, this is going to be for funds to put paint on the training tower where they do their training exercises. So that'd be my motion.
Second.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Vanilla?
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower?
Yay.
Commissioner Webb?
Yay.
Commissioner Goss?
Yay.
Mayor
Yay.
Butler?
Okay, who's got the
Glenn, you want to?
Rolling Hills
Rolling Hills.
subdivision?
I think we generally have a bid test for that bid on your docket there, don't you?
Yes.
Okay.
As you will notice there, we had, I think, 5 bids, and they ranged from a low of 470+ thousand to close to 600,000. And you might, and my estimate, I believe was 515,000. Probably the big spread was we had one contractor on there that had put in a similar type system. This is the same contractor that put the pressure sewer system in at Spring Garden. So he's familiar, he's knowledgeable of what takes place and what's needed. The others had never put a system like that in, and they were a little nervous about it. So the contractor, Low Bidder Scooter Construction, did a good job at Spring Garden. It's working well. He's a low bidder there, and I see no reason why we shouldn't award it to him.
And 40,000 under your estimate.
Pretty much no-brainer.
And that helps too.
I'll second that.
Yep.
One question now, that we're doing this project, is there any match by the homeowners or anything, or is this just?
Yes, $500 tap-on fee.
Okay.
Each homeowner pays $500.
But we allow them to pay that in payments like we did
Yeah.
at Spring Garden.
We determined that.
Yeah, I think it's $50 a month.
They pay $50 down to sign,
Yeah.
and then they can pay the $500 as one lump sum and be finished with it, or pay $25 a month so they get the balance of $450 on each monthly sewer bill.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I might add too that on this one, we had so many problems with the homeowner making the electrical connection from the junction box on the house to the switch cabinet inside the house. And if they don't hook it up, we can't demolish the old one, put it up, and hook them up and test out the system. So under this contract, the contractor is responsible for going from the junction box, hooking up inside the house. So it's all done at one time, and we're not waiting 2 or 3 or 4 months till the homeowner gets the electrical contractor and gets it done.
Okay, what's your motion?
We already got a motion.
Voted on that?
No.
We have a motion. and a
Angelo made the motion. Yeah.
Commissioner Vanella.
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower.
Yay.
Commissioner Webb.
Yay.
Commissioner Goss.
Yay.
Mayor Butler.
Yay.
Might as well stay there, Glenn. Next 2 items coming up,
Okay.
6 and 7.
Okay, item number 6. Resolution 2017-10 for improvement by the city under the Illinois Highway Code of South Market Street from Marion Street to a point 157 feet north of Allen Street, replacing existing curb and gutter, brick pavement, granular sub-base sidewalks, and some driveways. $760,000 appropriated for the improvement of said section from the municipality's allotment of motor fuel tax funds. You got anything you want to say about that?
It's pretty
What it says, you have to have it approved from the state to use MFT money. That's what this says. Right?
This isn't spending any money. This is just saying you can spend up to that, which includes both construction and engineering. And we're not spending any money. We'll have to let a contract make the award, and then we start spending money. Now, if it comes to be more than that, you have to pass another resolution to get more money.
If it comes in less than that, we don't have.
Then you've got a balance in your funds.
So this vote is just to authorize anything to be done on South Market, not necessarily a specific manner in which we do it.
There's nothing, it does too. It says if you read it says it's curb and gutter, brick pavement, granular sub-base, sidewalks, and some driveways.
Driveways, sidewalks, and driveways.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be my motion to accept the resolution.
I don't think that's what he meant. We're not spending any money.
No money is being, you're authorizing in the future to spend up to this amount for construction and engineering on that project.
Because it's state money.
It's motor fuel tax money. Now, there is some specific things that we're talking about how we're going to do it. Now, that does define that, but it doesn't say you're going to spend money right now.
No.
Now, will they define that in a further resolution for us?
No, well, you define that. It'd be you guys to decide that. Now, what it does mean, let me clarify some points.
Yeah.
Right now, we've submitted what we call an environmental survey request form. Okay? That means that you have cultural, biological, and aquatic. Cultural is the only thing that applies here because we're not getting into streams and preservations or anything like that. But they will determine, basically, would they approve a street other than brick? Probably not. That hasn't fully been determined yet. But my guess is, based on previous conversations with them, that's what they'll require.
Will they, at some point in time, say yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely. The request was sent about a month ago, and it takes typically up to 90 days. You've experienced this with county roads, and it takes typically about 90 days. And they've asked for a little bit of supplemental information. It was submitted to them, and but now the council makes the decision pretty well up to a point. If you wanted to put in a oil and chip street there, and you had a brick before, no, they're not going to approve it, and you couldn't spend your motor fuel tax money that way. But they typically say if it's a brick street, if you have an historic house on the National Register on it, pretty well you're going to have to go with brick. And they will coordinate with the Illinois Department of Preservation Agency, and between them and IDOT will make the decision for that. Now,
You may be an answer. If that's a requirement as far as maintaining the historical aspect of it, shouldn't there be some grant money available for that if we're required to comply with that?
if the state had any grant money, it would.
I mean,
If they have it.
Better than that, they had a budget to have a grant. Yeah. Which,
it seems like if we're required to do that, there ought to be some corresponding grant money to assist. You would think, at least.
You're thinking right, but the state is always telling us what to do without giving us a means of raising the money to do it.
There is, Angelo is right. In the past, they have had grant money for things.
For something
of this nature, that is correct. Typically, it's a small amount, but they have in the past had grants money. If you wanted to, downtown sidewalks sometimes is an example, bricks and stuff, you're getting a certain percentage of money for that. But right now, there's no money on it.
well, what about on the national level, since that's on a national historic register?
I can't answer that, Anthony. I don't know. I don't know.
Would it be possible, and I know people want to go ahead with this, if we can research that to see if there's any national grant money before we proceed with brick? I mean, is that possible to delay it a little bit?
We're not going to proceed anything with this until we get a sign-off. Well, we're working on the design of the road now, but now, technically, till you get your ESR, Environmental Survey Request form back, that will tell us exactly what we can do. My strong supposition is that they'll approve a brick street. Well, I know they will, nearly.
But in the meantime, while everything else in the works, we can be seeking to see if there's money available.
That I can't answer if there's funds or not. I know we're not going to get much out of the state level.
We'll be months away before anything is done anyhow in this
Oh,
city.
yeah.
I mean, but
But we can't delay anything waiting on some grant to come that may never
We may not even
materialize.
do this calendar year, or?
It depends on how long it takes to get the ESR request back, get the plans. What we don't want to do is to let the bids in September, October, and try to start construction the end of October. That would be a disaster.
Yeah, couldn't do that.
No, because what we're going to have to do is to keep people in and out of their houses while we're building this street. On the west side, there's no back street for people to come in to get back to the back part of their property. So we're going to have to do it a piece at a time, and people are going to have the inconvenience for a few days getting to their houses. The advantage that we have is if you're laying these brick down and put them down, it's like a 24 to a 36-hour period, then you can drive on them. So we might have to do a third of it, turn traffic, get it on it, do another third, get the traffic on that, but we just can't come down and tear out all the brick, shut the street down for a month or two while we're getting everything finished. We got to make provisions to get people in and out of their homes.
So we need to be moving along as much as we can.
And the sewer and water will be done
First.
first, any of that.
The sewer and water have to be done first before we even start on the street.
Right.
And we're putting new sewer laterals to every home up and down through there, and that means that some places are 10 and 12 foot deep out on the main. So we're going to have to be digging 11 foot deep out on that 12-inch main to get down to the lateral, put that in, and we're going to have to put a riser pipe to come up and then go across to tie in. Then we got to find where that house lateral is and tie into that. That's going to take some time. At the same token, we've got to run a 6-inch water main from College down to Allen. And we've got to run new services under the road for every home there. And that's got to be done. And it's not going to be cheap. Now, the 760 does not include water and sewer cost. That includes the cost for the road and the engineering. It doesn't include, it's my understanding that the water and sewer pays each one of their respective costs for doing this.
Are you looking at still probably putting a Codell lime in too, Glenn, as we discussed? Or?
The problem with putting the Codell line in is that the mobilization cost for bringing the Codell line, for doing it right, we're going to be doing it like a third at a time. If we could if we could close the street, tear everything out, and then bring it in, it would be a good way to do it. But you could do a third of it, they pick up, they move back out, and they got to move back in again. And Ferguson's are now getting into where they have the equipment to do the Codell lime and do it properly. Typically, Mount Carmel Sand and Gravel was the only one that done it. Mm-hmm. And they're very good at it, but, and they will come in, but if I bring them in 3 times,
it will get expensive.
Cost is out of hand. I'd like to do that because we've got some bad subgrade through there. I talked to them about lime stabilization. I don't mean lime, but cement. Mm-hmm. And we can use the cement with the crushed stone that's in there, which helps.
Okay.
And that, I've looked at that possibility, but at the same time, it's doing a third at a time, it gets expensive.
Okay, what's your motion?
I made a motion to adopt 2017-10.
Second.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Ranella.
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower.
No.
Commissioner Webb.
Yay.
Commissioner Goss.
Yay.
And Mayor Butler.
Yay. Okay, Resolution 2017-11 for maintenance of streets and highways.
Okay, that's the resolution for, we typically have our annual resurfacing of our city streets. And that's taken the balance pretty well of the existing motor fuel tax funds and the projected what we will be giving for $400,000 to resurface city streets in Marion, like we did last year. And that will take us pretty well clear the balance out between these two appropriations up to about October of this year.
This is pretty standard, just to make sure there's enough funds in there to do these projects.
We want to make sure that there's funds to do these projects, and those funds will be allocated to those 2 projects. That's what that means.
This is state's approval. We can spend up this kind of money.
We can spend up to the $400,000 for resurfacing of the street.
If we so choose. If we don't spend it.
If you spend $200,000, you just spend $200.
We pretty much have to do this. I mean, that's...
Well, we need to do it. We need to, because we got streets, it's, as an example, Department of Transportation is going to be doing resurfacing from Pentecost Road to 148. Because that section of West Main Street to 148 is really cracking, breaking up. It's in bad shape. It hasn't had anything done to it since 1993. But we got a gap from Pentecost down to Plains Avenue that the City of Marion is responsible for maintenance for.
What's the distance of that?
About 3/4 of a mile.
Less than a mile.
It's less than a mile. It's about 3/4 of a mile. So we're going to have that on. That's going to be part of the $400,000. So we'll match up with what IDOT's doing, and that will take us then from halfway road to 148 and have West Main in good shape then.
Now, we're going to do the same procedure we did on the West Main last year?
No, that was Cape Seal. This would be a resurfacing job. What we want to do is to match up to do the same thing IDOT's doing with their work. So we're going to try to coordinate it so that the contractor who's putting IDOT's down would be bidding on this piece and do it all at one time.
And hopefully getting it at a cheaper rate.
That's what we're hoping for, yes.
I'll make a motion to adopt Resolution 2017-11.
Second.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Ranella.
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower.
Yay.
Commissioner Webb.
Yay.
Commissioner Goss.
Yay.
Mayor Butler.
Yay. Our friends from Kanie Towner standing back there. Did you have something you wanted to say, or were you just...
Toshi wanted to present to the mayor, you had received your gift earlier, but they had a gift they were going to give to the commissioners. So Toshi, if you...
Oh, yes.
Well, yes.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I forgot to, very important thing. We have a gift for council member. Thank you for inviting us on this council. This is our sightseeing promotion character. We call Chokimaru. This is a Japanese towel. Please use this and please promote to coming our town from Marion City.
Okay.
We are very looking forward to coming Marion, visitors Marion with our hospitality. Thank you.
How many people live in your town?
37,000 people.
37,000?
Yes, 37,000.
Twice our size.
Yes.
Appreciated, by golly.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Wait, I'd like to take pictures, Angelo.
And I thank you again.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate
Very
it.
nice, very nice.
Yes, sir.
Mayor, we'd like to table number 8.
Okay, with table 8. Well, we're going to table number 9. That had to do with impoundment of vehicles.
Oh, Mayor, I think Steve was going to address number 9, if you're ready.
Are you ready for that?
Well, you can go ahead, but I don't think we're going to be interested in passing it tonight.
That's up to you.
Yeah, because I know I've got some questions about
Sure.
it.
This is something that the chief of police had asked for quite some number of years ago. We didn't, from a legal perspective, I didn't want to pursue it because there was a class action lawsuit that was involved in a lot of municipalities that had passed this statute in their own municipalities. At that time, what they were doing were assessing about a $500 administrative fee in an effort to cover time that the officers were involved with their duties relating to certain activities. That lawsuit is in the process of being settled. It went up to the appellate court. Appellate court basically had said that the administrative fees have to be reasonably related to the amount of time and costs, the actual costs that the city could prove relating to that time. They had a difficult way of proving that. A different municipality up north passed a different type of ordinance that assessed an administrative fee, administrative penalty, excuse me. Here, we've kind of done the same thing. That case, they got sued also as part of that lawsuit group, but they lost. The court basically said an administrative penalty is different, and a city can't impose that. The chief of police thought that $250 was a reasonable amount of money to cover the expenses. Carbondale has an ordinance that's not like ours, but the charge that they have is $500. Energy has one, they charge $500. And your chief believed that this would be more than enough to cover the cost of our officers during this time. If you had a particular question about the ordinance, I'd be happy to address it if you would like.
Have those municipalities been challenged on their particular ordinances, Energy and Carbondale?
I don't know that they have. They're looking at Carbondale to be a defendant in one of the class action lawsuits. They're not at the present time. Over towards St. Louis, several of the municipalities there were involved in the initial class action lawsuit.
Let me ask you something on number 7 for possession of solicit or possess cannabis. Doesn't there need to be a gram attached to that, because less than 10 grams falls under our city ordinance? Is that right?
Well, state law now, anyway.
It's a state law, and it's reference to the law, not necessarily the grams, because the grams may change over a period of time. Anything 10 and below is now treated as a petty offense, and if I am found guilty of it, it's an automatic expungement of my record after 6 months.
no longer a jailable offense.
Right, that's right.
Is that retroactive?
No.
Okay, well, I want to go over that impoundment ordinance with you, because I've got several questions in there.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Accept, approve the resignation, Lucas Newton, part-time library assistant, effective March the 14th. What's your pleasure?
I'd make that motion.
Second.
Second. Call the roll.
That was easy.
Commissioner Ranella,
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower.
Yay.
Commissioner Webb,
Yay.
Commissioner Goss.
Yay.
Mayor
Hearing
Butler.
officer was going to be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That needs, yeah.
Several questions there.
Okay.
Okay, we called the roll, did we?
Yes.
You're late.
Okay. Anybody else have anything we need to take up?
I do.
Okay, shoot, Luke.
I need to make a motion to pay monthly bills as funds become available.
Second.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Ranella,
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower.
Yay.
Commissioner Webb,
Yay.
Commissioner Goss.
Yay.
And Mayor Butler.
Make a motion to pay the consent agenda.
Second.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Ranella,
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower.
Yay.
Commissioner Webb,
Yay.
Commissioner Goss.
Yay.
Mayor Butler.
Yay.
Okay, in the advent of our new meter program that we're just now getting into its first phases, the EPA has suggested that we send out, and we will in next month's water bills, advising our water customers to flush their line, especially, if they know that these houses are, as of June 19th, 1986. So I guess they feel that there's potential, there may be lead lines from the meter into the house. Prior to that, anyway, and their wishes and compliance, we will do that. One of them I didn't understand was, if you do not have a lead service line, running the water for 1 to 2 minutes at the kitchen tap should clear the lead from your household plumbing. What's that mean, Glenn? If you don't have lead service line to begin with? I mean, really?
You got stagnant water in there,
But that lead would have to come from somewhere else, right?
It would have been conveyed by the water.
But it says if you do not have a lead service line. I mean,
anytime you put a filter or anything on your system, I've got a filter on my water heater, I got one on the kitchen sink. And every time you put your filler in there, it says running for 2 to 5 minutes to flush everything out. But it doesn't say do it every time.
yeah. Well, they ask you to flush for 3 to 5 minutes. And, well, I think this is great. I don't think I can see Angelo's
Water bills in the
revenues
world.
going up, yeah. Well, that's the thing about these new meters that we're putting in. They start registering at the 10th of a gallon as opposed to old ones that may not start registering until 3/4 of a gallon. So, I say,
8,200 customers, and that might be
I'm saying we should have a cash cow here, Glenn. I'm telling you. But, anyway, in their accordance and wishes, we're going to give this its due diligence. Every city customer, water customer is going to get this in their May water bill, so.
Would anybody from IEPA be willing to come here and give like a, hearing, public hearing, and kind of expand on the ramifications of not complying with that, or?
I think it's self-compliance. This is a suggestion to them. Now, when we went from Wren Lake, or our water to Wren Lake water, we had to test for that, quite often, and after just a few tests, they just said, hey, you guys are good, test once or twice a year, whatever it is. So, I mean, we was well below their standards for lead. And we continue to test for that, you know, on a monthly basis. As you know, it's just part of our protocol, among other things that we test for in our water.
That program's already on our website too.
Yes.
So it's already on our website, so if anybody wanted to download it early, they could.
Okay, anything else?
Well, I'm done.
Okay, Angelo.
I'm good.
Jim?
Nothing?
I want to remind again, the spring cleanup starts April 3rd.
Yeah.
People need to get their limbs and their bags to the street side. They start April 3rd to the southeast, April 5th northeast, April 10th northwest, and April 12th southwest. And they got to remind that the limbs must be tied up no bigger than 6 feet. So they need to get ready for us.
What's the diameter on that again? What did you say?
2-inch diameter, 6 feet long. We're going to measure every stick.
Probably true.
That's it.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor.
I think motion would be in order.
I make that motion.
Second.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Manella?
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower?
Yay.
Commissioner Webb?
Yay.
Commissioner Goss?
Yay.
And Mayor Butler.
I might mention